Welcome back, family. This is the fourth and final lesson of the Mental and Social Health Technician course. Having a mental illness and not doing anything about it, allowing it to grow into a disorder, is a difference between being functional and being non-functional. Here's what I mean. Many of us have relied upon old coping skills when it comes to dealing with our traumas. And some of us have adopted the skills others have shared with us as to how they dealt with their traumas. While this has made us somewhat functional, it still leaves us feeling that some part of our soul is missing. We are still able to go to work, attend school, family functions, social interactions, and other gatherings. But we still wake up sometimes angry, but don't know why. We still snap at people, and then we have to search for a decent reason to justify that snap response. Yes, we are still functional, but to what degree? And just how much does that affect our overall physical, mental, and emotional well-being? Being non-functional is evident by taking the opposite of being functional. When we succumb to our illness or disorders, we now keep spiraling downward until we strike rock bottom. And while some of us are able to then bounce back up toward the surface of our own self-induced ocean, some of us can't. And the ultimate choice, suicide, as the only way to ease that pain and suffering. The experts say that there are two main types of coping skills: problem-based and emotion-based. Problem-based coping skills is when you need to change your situation, perhaps by removing a stressful thing from your life. Emotion-based is taking care of your emotions when you either don't want to change your situation or when circumstances are out of your control. Suggested coping skills for when it comes to a problem-based coping is simply voicing your frustration to those you believe are creating your issue, and then educating them on what you require from them to control this trauma. If they cannot or just flat out refuse to honor your request, make the decision to quietly step away from them and create a distance large enough to cause you to think about re-engaging before reconnecting. It provides them the choice and opportunity to see your value in being near them, as well as shows them the respect that they deserve in respecting their decision, even if you don't agree with their choices. Suggested coping skills when it comes to emotion-based coping is, again, voicing your displeasure with their choices while making sure to understand that maintaining connection with them is your choice and your choice alone. Regarding suggested coping skills when circumstances are out of your control, use the old adage, control that which you can, that which you can't, let go. In all cases, the voicing of displeasure or disappointment should be used because it is imperative that we maintain that education before expectation. The only true control we have is over our own choices, decisions, actions, and inactions. The choices, decisions, actions, and inactions of others It's not our cross to carry, so we must be able to put it down and allow them the opportunity to carry it for themselves. In my mind, there are many other coping skills that have survived the test of time and could be useful in all situations. The first and most important to me is breathing, and the second is redefining. I call breathing the most effective coping skills for two main reasons. The first is often the more upset we get, the less full breaths we take. Remember when you were at school and you heard your name being called over the loudspeaker to go to the principal's office? If you allow yourself to be transported back to that time, you will probably find yourself immediately and sometimes without thinking, holding your breath. This same thing's happen each time something is about to happen, like that car that just ran a red light about to hit you. In other words, failure to take deep breaths makes you tense. The second reason is almost always that few seconds after something happens to you that you may respond without taking a breath. Some people may see taking a few minutes before response as an issue, but to keep your own personal sanity, taking a few deep breaths before responding should allow your emotions and racing heart time to settle down. Another unknown coping skill is what I refer to as redefinition. Redefinition works by changing what may be the initial definition of a word that stimulates you in a negative way to another word that means the same thing but does not have the same effect. For example, if you cannot stand when someone tells you what to do, instead of using the word telling you, replace it with suggesting to you. There are millions of other examples like this, and it will take some practice to get it down, but reacting based on the intent of another person's only makes you a puppet, not a person. You deserve better treatment, but sometimes that treatment is determined by you taking back self-control. In conclusion of this course, there are 5 things I need you to remember. If you do not remember anything else from this course, especially if you suffer, as I do, from mental illness, know that you are not broken. Know that you are not crazy. Know that you are not defective. Know that you are not alone. And know that you will always be loved. Thanks for retaking charge of your life. Please take care, be safe, and God bless. Your final quiz follows.